can see the weakness there. It was 15 seconds before match. It was matching 793. We're into 786 with plenty at 86, 90, 95, 93. So you've got some outs there just before open to risk into if you decide to take this open drive. Opens at 785, an instant little sell there at 779. Given the depth, that might have actually been Chi-X. So note here, it drove pretty quickly down to 780. The bid side definitely filled out a little bit. You've got the large buyer at 772, but 780 looked like an early little line of potential support. It was trying to hold up here. It had slowed. Plenty on the offer, obviously. You can still see that stalemate really. The visual tells it perfectly. 780 is still the key. You can feel the walls starting to break now, can't you? And go on, he pulls. Drops lower. Pulls back again, drops lower. Just pause that there for a moment. You can see this is the first really sort of sign of some balance in buyers and sellers. It got as low as 772, and it's sort of now just fighting between 75, 776. The offers seem to have thinned out a little bit. The bids are starting to pick up a little. So maybe this is the point where open drivers are now thinking, all right, I'm getting ready to take some off the table. You can see that large bid still not getting hit. Call that one a goalpost. It's just there to fatten up the depth. Virtually pause there and bids come in. I'd be taking some off there if I was in. You know that short-term open drive shorts are looking to cover some here. 780 was a kind of level on the way down, so we'd be watching that to see if it becomes a little bit of res again on the way back up. Bid was looking quite stacked for a bit compared to the offer. Not much of it's actually getting hit. bang, line slammed. I'll pause that for a minute. As soon as you saw those lines get taken, you knew there was a fair chance it was back on to the downside again. And again, establishes 780 as a fairly key kind of zone. Volumes disappear again for a minute. You kind of tell every potential upside was really muted. There was no real momentum to the upside on any of those sort of pausing moments. Struggling to hold that 780 level now, drifting back off it. Still the large buyer sitting off the bid, gone, drops back. So we ignore him, he's not real. Well, he certainly is not in a hurry to get hit, put it that way, if he is real. Pushing into new lows now. And again, just no momentum to the outside at all. You can almost see the sellers smelling blood. If I'm in this short, I've got my cover or a partial cover order typed constantly. It's there. It's a couple of ticks above where we are now in case, you know, if I'm close to getting rid of some, if I want to unload some. Last price 764. I've got a buy order at 767, 768 typed and ready to go, so that if it does turn, I'm ready to hit the button and I'm first out, not scrambling to amend orders to get out. As it continues to go lower, I'm amending that order lower, ready to go. But a couple of ticks above ask, so that if it does turn, I'm still able to hit it. It's a really good feature of the visuals in Spark. You know, that large bid, it's become quite obvious. He has no interest in getting hit, so you would just ignore it until that changes. Another pause here. You feel the action quieten down for a moment. So it's just a case of what next. You've got a fair bit of meat out of the trade, you might be starting to think about if the buyers do look to, you know, gain a bit of momentum here. Do you cover some? Do you cover the lot? Depends on what your plan for the trade was at the start. some momentum there. That buyer's right on the money, so you would imagine he's quite happy to take those, and gets filled. So we know the large sellers are there and willing to take those bids that want the volume. And the big leg getting eaten was probably enough to cause this last drive. Buy side looks stacked now, doesn't it? Looks like they'd have the upper hand. But really no momentum, even though the bids are stacked. Quite a strong signal when the price action is going against a book that's imbalanced like this. And it disappears again. Just pause that for a moment, just for a split second. Did you see that complete change of behaviour? Every line filled up. Not sure exactly what that means, but it's probably, I'm guessing that it's the initiation of some kind of algo. Obviously didn't stay in the depth for long, but maybe that's what it was. The algo was initiated. It'd be enough for me to go, to be wary here. Is there a change of behaviour about to happen? The book's starting to dry out. There it is again. I've just paused that again, but you saw the book dry out and then bang, the book's full again. So there's a change in behaviour. We don't really need to know what it means. We just need to be aware that there's a change in behaviour. Just pause it there again for a minute. I wasn't actually paying close enough notice to know whether that what looked like a change of behaviour was just this scaling changing with different size bars. It was trying to fill up the space on the spark depths. I'd have to go back through that replay and see if that's actually just what was happening or whether the book was populating. Something worth noting. I might have been talking complete crap there. Looking stacked on the bid now. The concern would be, are they real? We've seen these buyers stacked before and have no interest in getting filled. Definitely the offers are starting to thin out. We're now a good 40 cents from open, so there's been a pretty solid drive there. Starting to see the buyers find a little bit of control here. Doing that for the drive, maybe that's enough. I'll run this another 30 seconds or so and that'll do us, I think. Quietened right down now, hasn't it? So we're definitely not seeing the aggression in the sellers as we were in the first 15 minutes. Retesting this low zone. You can feel the change there, right there. We've got buys at 750. It was almost an instant change in behaviour. From here, as you can see on the 1 minute, it drove from here back up to VWAP 768, 767, somewhere in there, and looked to have failed. I know quite a few traders, including myself, that had a crack at that as a reshort as it failed the VWAP. Couldn't stay below there for very long. If you're disciplined and your trade is based on it failing the VWAP, it reclaimed it and held it in 3 or 4 minutes, so it should have been a small loss. Right, that'll do us. Happy trading all.